Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with a long awaited book review. I have not done a book review, I honestly couldn't tell you when. Obviously I have had a child and reading, to be honest, is doing a lot more, like I'm reading a lot more than what I thought I would. However, I'm not reading at the speed and maybe the interest is what I was previously. If you've watched my reading vlogs for the years now, you'll know that I'm quite a big reader. I have a massive bookshelf, as you can see in the background. That's bookshelf 1 of 2. I also am a massive Kindle reader, and yeah, I have finally read a book that I wanted to sit down and like do a review for you. I read this one a couple of weeks ago, so if my memory is a little bit hazy, don't shoot me. I just really want to sit down and talk about it with you all. I'm also makeup free today because it's too hot and I can't be dealing with that. And I have my little Florence down here, so if she makes some squawking noises, which is the stage that we're at now, she likes to scream like a parrot, then that'll be what it is. I've got P running around playing schools with her Barbies, so we're just going to keep it real chilled. So the book in discussion today is a classic that so many of you have been telling me to read for years, and that is Sophie Kinsella, The Secret Dream World of a Shopaholic. there is a different way that the title is written. I can't remember which way it is. It's like Secret Life of a Shopaholic or something. This book is incredible. It's quite a small book. It is... There is a thunderstorm. Brilliant. Don't think I've ever filmed with a thunderstorm before. We're just over 300 pages long. The text in these books are quite small. So this is actually a new cover of the version. Let's just chat, shall we? I bought these books years ago in the old style. These covers are not very nice, the old style, and I've got them in my conservatory. And I don't know about you guys, but when I read a book, or when I really want to like read something that's easy like this, to know that this is like an 8 or I think it's a 9 book series just throws me off, because I think that's a big commitment. Like, I'm a little bit scared by that. I don't know if I have the time to commit to 9 books. That's obviously going to be like over 1,000, 2,000 pages. Like, that's intense. I'm hooked. So like I said, I had them on my shelf, and I was, when I'm pointing to the conservatory because that's where my other one is, and like everyone was like, you'll love it, like it's a really good book, like it's really good, like read it. And I was like, yeah. And then it went on Kindle sale probably about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was and her book series was the seller of the day. Like sometimes you get like a massive series sale. They all went down to 99p. I ended up buying 4 because I'm impulsive. Even though I already owned it on my shelf, I wanted it on Kindle because I find reading on Kindle at the moment, especially obviously having a little baby, it's a lot easier to read at night time, and that's when I do my reading, is when she's asleep. I can hopefully read for like an hour, hour and a half. My battery's flashing. Fantastic. And then, because I loved it so much on Kindle, I ended up buying all 8 of the new paperbacks. So that's the backstory as to the paperbacks. I am just obsessive. These normally are £8.99 each, and I got these 8 plus another 3 for £23 including postage. It just makes me happy, and I've never seen these in charity shops before. So let's get on to the story, because I can imagine that's why you're all here. And this book was written, I want to say like early 2000s, 2001, 2000, yeah, first published 2000. So it's a very old book, it's 20 years old. Wow. I don't feel like this has aged badly at all. Apart from the fashion choices, and there's like some times where the main character like gets out her laptop and it's like the earliest stages of like an Apple MacBook. Apart from that, I feel like it's aged really well. This is about Becky, and she is a journalist for a magazine. It's like Savings something, and she basically writes out articles to people or for a magazine to help people save money, where to put their money, mortgages, investments, blah blah blah, savings accounts. However, Becky, the main character, she is in tens of thousands of pounds worth of debt because she is obsessed with shopping. She is a shopaholic. Whether it is for things that she needs, like clothing, it's cookery items and just all the items that she thinks she needs because she's so impulsive, but she doesn't. And we follow her along the way as to like her establishing herself and her career, and she's 26 in this book, so again it's quite a relatable age for me because I'm 27. Really good, fun, easy read. It's set in London, which I always enjoy with books. She's a really funny character and I just had to read it really quickly. I literally read this in 3 days and I haven't done that for such a long period of time. I just had to find out where the story was going to go and how it was going to like set up the other books, even though I roughly know how it's going to go, as in this book, because there was a film out, it must have been at least 7 or 8 years ago, and it's not the same as this. If you've seen the film and you thought it was rubbish, I don't know if I've seen the film, I couldn't tell you. I've definitely seen the trailer. It's completely different because this, like I said, is set in London, whereas I feel like the film is set in New York, which does happen in the second book, but it's not solely in New York. We've got loads of characters. So we've got her best mate and flatmate Suze. We've got love interests coming in and out of this as well, and it's just really funny. Becky is so impulsive and her thought process of things is just obscene, and you think, how has she got on this tangent? Like, she is always justifying things, and it's brilliant. The way it was left was on a cliffhanger. I could not have imagined reading this back in 2000 and having to wait another, like an extra year or two to then pick up the next one. So yeah, that is my non-spoiler section. If you haven't read it, go and read it. Go to your local library if they're open. Mine is. It's hard to reserve things at the moment because of obviously like all of like the quarantine stuff. But if you can find it, these are in charity shops. They're on Facebook Marketplace, which is where I got these ones from. I highly recommend it. I'm now going to sit down and spoil it, so don't watch anymore if you want to read it. If you do, message me over on my book club Instagram, which is Book Club with Jess, and we can chat things books as and when I get to my DMs, because it does take me a very long time, because Instagram is all the way down here on my priority list. So, spoiler section. I don't really know where to begin. I just absolutely loved the book. I thought it was so funny, and like I was saying, I cannot relate to her in the sense of how impulsive she is when it comes to spending money on obscene things, but I'm a very savvy shopper, so when she was going to sales and stuff, she was like, oh, I need 2 because it's in the sale, so I could get it in this colour and this colour, and I'm like, that's me. Like, I'm very much like that, especially when it comes to children's things. If everything's like half price, I'm like, well, she may as well have both of them because they're half price. So I could really relate to that, even though my things are very low cost compared to what Becky is. Like when she was buying like a £120 scarf, it was ridiculous. I had to have a battery change. I knew that would die. There you go, good girl. I loved the part when she got her part-time job in the retail shop on a Saturday because she wanted to earn extra money, and then she ended up trying to hold the jeans back. I think it was zebra print jeans, and then the girl that was shopping picked them up and then she snatched them off her and lost her job. I found that so funny. I loved the part when she bought that book that was like the money saving book, and like the things that the man said, I can't remember the name. She got that book that was like a money saving book, but she took it too literally. So to save herself money from buying coffees every day out and about, she had to go and buy her travel cup, which was an unnecessary expense. And then, well, sort of is, sort of isn't. But then when it was like, she went to go and get the curry book from, I think it was W.H. Smith, and she was writing down the recipe, and then she accidentally drew in it, so then she had to buy the curry book. And then to make her curry, she then had to go and buy like the wok and all the spices and the seasonings and everything that she needed, like I think it was like a pestle and mortar or whatever she needed. And her bill at the end of the day was through the roof, but it was like an investment. Like, it was just so funny how she would just throw out the cash and when she'd get like her bills come through from the banks, which I absolutely loved, like those little breakups of the chapters of like, we're trying to contact you, I'm really sorry you've got glandular fever, I'm really sorry you've broken your leg, like all of the stupid stories that she'd come up with. I loved how she'd just pick up her letters and then just go and put them in a skip and just completely forget about it. So irresponsible, and considering she's in finance and she's doing that, I just found it really, really funny. I loved the relationship she had with Suze. I loved how she went on that date with Tarquin. I really liked him. I thought he was a really nice guy. I'm not too sure on how I feel about Luke at the moment. I feel like he's supposed to come off as quite suave, but I don't really know his personality yet. But I enjoyed what I did see. I just loved Becky as a character. She is such a whirlwind, and she is such like a well remembered character. I feel like I'll always remember like the impulsive Becky that goes shopping when I stop reading them. I just absolutely loved it. Like I said, I loved that it was set in London. I really enjoyed seeing her try and change her life around. She got herself in so much debt, and eventually she ended up on TV. I very much imagined it like This Morning. Was it called Morning Break or something? And she was put like the financial advisor on that, what's it called? On that, like she gets a slot on the programme. And I like how she was very hypocritical in the sense of giving people advice but not actually following it herself, and loads of people thanked her and appreciated it, but then she wasn't following it herself. It was really gunning for her when she tried to fight the case about how White Staff Line, whatever it was called, White Flag Staff, was ripping off their customers, and then she was obviously up against Luke trying to fight their case, and then Luke actually realised and understood what was going on and then agreed with Becky live on TV. I thought that was great. When she pretended to be Finnish, that was absolutely hilarious. There wasn't a dull moment in the book. It was just such an all-round great book. You could read this any time of year. Sometimes I see books as summer reads. I would quite happily read this on a rainy day as it is now, curled up on the sofa with a cup of tea, or I would read it on a beach, by a pool. You can read it as and when, wherever. I'm so happy that I've decided to bite the bullet and pick it up and read it. I'm now going to wrap up this video. I really hope it wasn't too choppy. I wish I did this review as soon as I finished the book. Like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. I have actually read book 2, so I'm really trying to remember not to blur the lines of the second book. I will sit down and do that book review as well, and hopefully here on out I will review each book because they're fantastic. Like I said, go and pick it up if you can. Leave me a message on Instagram so we can talk about it. I just loved it, and I'm very thankful for you all getting on at me, telling me to read it, because I have. And my Sophie K, she's asleep. My Sophie K collection looks beautiful, I'm not gonna lie. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I shall see you all in my next one.